For respect of those wanting to get into the show, the information is going to be from parts of Part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. This is a spoiler alert. Jonathan Joestar, the first JoJo and probably the most forgotten one when it comes to the line of other JoJos. When compared to other JoJos, it seems that Jonathan doesn't have enough to be up to par. He has no stand and hasn't trained with enough to be considered an expert with it. Along with that, he's gone through many situations on where he should have died and he's come pretty close to, but he did come out on top of all of those. And then Dio shot him with pressurized body fluids and that was the end of that. And even then, this isn't a video to talk bad about Jonathan, it's to show how strong this Joestar is. Now, when researching how strong Jonathan exactly was, I had to piece the story together. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and many other shows, books, and all around that follow the format of the hero's journey. I had watched part 1 twice already, so I began piecing the parts together. Now, usually the hero finds a huge benefit in the middle of the timeline, which is the reward. Right before that is the ordeal, where the hero faces a near-death experience but comes out on top of it. Now, I think about the times where Jonathan has almost died, and that's been about 3 if I recall correctly. First was with Vampire Dio, newly made, and the last fight was with Dio 2. The middle, where Jonathan got his benefit, was the battle with Tarkus. Tarkus was a gigantic warrior from the past made into zombie. Jonathan was trapped in the den with Tarkus, chained to what I thought was an unbreakable collar, and that was where Jonathan's neck was broken, until William Zeppeli had come to save him. Zeppeli was split, but then used Ultimate D-Pass Overdrive and gave all of his Hamon and life energy to Jonathan. While that was the end of Zeppeli, that was the rising point for Jonathan. With Jojo's newfound energy, he lifted Tarkus with one arm and then held the chain holding Tarkus with his foot. While doing that, he began trying to break the collar that was locked around his neck. Tarkus said that not even with the strength that Dio had gave him, he could break that chain. Then with so much strength and screaming, Jojo broke that collar right down the middle. Now, that's where I paused the show and was like, that's kind of ridiculous as hell, like what the fuck. The man that lifted a ginormous pillar just to show off. Along with that, he only did it with one hand. And he said he couldn't break apart the steel bars with the power he was given by Dio. Now, if you look at those bars, there's no holes in the bars. This is solid steel. And the only time I can really recall when steel broke is one of those tensile test machines and all that, where they pull the steel from both ends until it breaks down the middle. But to break not 1 but 3 steel bars at one time would be ridiculous, so I began doing the science for this. So to estimate the size of the bars, I made it about ½ an inch diameter to make it pretty generous. Jonathan is huge, so this might even be bigger to fit the way that it did, but I'm just gonna keep it at ½ an inch. So now to break the steel, there would be about a breaking stress point to break a ½ inch of steel, or to break steel in general. An actual bar of steel, not like one of those steel bars we were talking about before. And it came out to about 400,000 kilonewtons, which would be about 89 million pounds, which is pretty ridiculous. It only takes about 2,300 newtons to crush a human skull. Imagine what Jonathan can just do with those. Plus, humans can only produce 5,000 newtons of force. Jonathan was already pretty strong, and Hamon gave this huge boost to his actual human strength. And then along with that, he got the huge boost with Zeppeli, so that just made him even more ridiculously strong. Let's add another bonus to Jonathan. Now, punching is more on speed and not about strength. Just because you can lift a certain amount isn't going to make your punch stronger. The force on an object is equal to the mass of the object multiplied by the acceleration of that object. That mass being his fist and the acceleration on being how fast he's throwing the punch. So I began looking really close on when Jojo does the sunlight yellow overdrive. It looks like there are many punches. Well, to make it specific, there's one punch that connects every 3 frames. 20 punches in the span of 1 second, and to punch that quick is insane. With that kind of speed, one punch would have the force of 10.2 tons of force. Now, think about how long he's punching for when he's doing the sunlight yellow overdrive. He's punching for about 4 seconds. Then Bruford, I don't know how to say it, is launched pretty far up. With that much force, it should be sending him soaring. although I'm not pretty sure on how physics and what the zombies but made by Dio can take and all. Hamon had to give Jonathan that boost because if Jonathan didn't have it, he wouldn't really stand a chance against Dio at the end of part 1. Even then, both of their strengths are ridiculously strong. But then again, we live in a world where there's people that can destroy anything in one punch, and planetary destroyers. So 400k kilotoons don't seem that bad when compared. And that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this something new. That's not, I mean, this is a part of the Outside of series, but this is its own thing. So I'm going to be doing more outside of JoJo's so far that, I mean, I'm already caught up. I'm going to read through Steel Ball Run. And so then there's Jojo Leon, and I'm gonna get to that too. But this is something else. This is something new. There's other outside of Smashes and all that, and I said that you guys can ask for any character, but this is something that I wanted to personally myself, and I wanted to get more into the JoJo community also, and not just Smash generally. Even though my stuff is more Nintendo based, but this is something for the Outside of series. It's just like general characters. Like it could be literally anybody. So that's the whole thing. So you guys. This one, I'm telling you guys, this is just for asking whatever character you want in general. You could ask for Goku for all I care. But, just saying, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been Kaleb. Peace out, and Godspeed.